Hi, you right? Good, mate, all good.
Harry Potter.
Sorry I'm late, guys. More than normal, this is normally.
Hello, everyone. Right, so what you do is we usually do 10 minutes all in, and then we'll go from there. So, Dan, if you'd like to start.
Afternoon, Matty. Good to see you again. Top four. You have a 7-point lead over Spurs. I know they have 2 games in hand, but great position to be in. And now you're in a European semi-final. Just how excited is the changing room, and also how determined are you all to get both objectives?
Yeah, I think we're really excited, but I think we're pretty calm as well at the same time. I think it's really important that obviously we know what's on the line. We know obviously we're in a really good position, being in top 4, and obviously being in the semi-final of a European competition, which is fantastic, which is what we set out at the start of the season. And here we are, 3 games to go, sitting in 4th position. It's really good, but loads to play for still, yeah.
What's been the biggest learning curve of balancing the league and all these huge European nights?
Yeah, I think we haven't got a massive squad, to be honest. I think we've had a lot of injuries as well during the season to key players. Obviously, right at the start we lost Ty and we lost Emery, and then halfway through we lost Booba. 3 really important players for the team. But I think we've responded well. I think we've obviously, during the season, you have injuries, you have problems, you have whatever there is, and all we can do is bounce back, and whoever puts on the shirt plays and does the best. And I think we've done that quite well this season. As you said, sat in 4th and in the semi-final, so we're not doing too much wrong.
Currently, Emery's of course out tomorrow night. Robin Olsen expected to come in. Just how big of a loss will Emery be? But tell us a bit more about Robin, what he's like in the changing room.
Yeah, I think Robin's played so many games for his country as well. He's a really experienced player. Obviously, Emery's probably the world number 1 at the minute, but Robin's a fantastic goalie as well. I think, obviously one drops out, another one comes in, and Robin's got more than enough experience to come in, and as he has done in games this season, he's played games this season and done really well. So I'm not the one to tell him that he's ready. He knows he is. So it'd be good to see him. Yeah.
Matt, having been so close to going out in Lille before your goal, does it feel almost like this is a second chance and it's really important that you take it?
Yeah, I think so. I wanted to try and save the extra time and penalties, the stress of it. So I was trying to grab the ball to go down the other end again, rather than actually letting it sink in that I'd scored. But it's a completely different game. Obviously it's a semi-final. Obviously the last game was a quarter-final. It was really just as important. But it's a completely different game. Yeah, so we're gonna go into it. We're in a really good place, and we know what's at stake, and hopefully we can get over the line.
Hi Matt. You played 46 games this season. You'll go over 50, obviously, if you play in every game, if you get to the final as well. You then got the Euros. I mean, how are you feeling, and are you concerned about burnout at the minute? Because it is a quite hot topic. The PFA are working quite hard for you guys. So just how are you feeling, and kind of, what do you think about kind of the amount of games you got playing at the minute? Yeah,
obviously there's a lot of games. I actually feel all right, to be fair. I had obviously a little break with the injury a couple of weeks ago, which had me out for 3 weeks. Obviously there is a high demand of games, especially at this level. It was funny because when I was injured, I was sat watching up, and it looks so much quicker down when you're playing than it does when you're sat up in the stand. So it's a high level. It's really fast, and you can get tired pretty quickly. But I think physically now, obviously as athletes, we've got everything off the pitch to put us in the best possible shape. But there's no doubt there is a lot of games. But as footballers, you do want to play games. You enjoy playing games. And as you said, over 50 games is quite a lot. Yeah.
Is there a sense, not just here, but obviously the other guys, the professionals that you speak to, that it is getting too much? There is sort of enough is enough because of the amount of games that are being added to the calendar as well.
Yeah, it's not really a conversation we have in the changing room really about how many games. We obviously all say, there's so many games, but there's not really players that... I think adrenaline gets you through it as well. When you're playing, you don't really think of how tired you are. If you're tired, you just sort of use as much adrenaline as you can to get on with it. So there's not really a conversation that we have between ourselves. I think we can't really do much about it. If there's games, you have to play and do the best you can.
Will you have a break between? Because if you get to the final, 29th of May, I think. Poland's first warm-up is the 7th of June. So there's not an awful lot of turnaround for you. Are you going straight in? How does your summer look like?
Yeah, well, if you get to the final, I think reporting for national team will be on the 1st or 2nd of June if you're in the squad. So yeah, not much. 29th, obviously the final if you get there. A couple of days, no break at all. But yeah, it's an exciting time. You want to play in the big games. I want to go to the Euros, and I want to be in the final of the Conference League. So yeah, they're the two sort of things I'm looking at, hopefully doing.
Hi Matty, do you get the feeling that this could be a watershed season for the club if you do manage to get to the final and are successful?
What's a watershed?
Well, sorry. A bit of a landmark achievement. Yeah. Sort of.
Sorry, that's me not knowing.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Do you think it could be? It's a bit of could be a landmark, and people might start taking Aston Villa, seriously again.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've made a statement over the last year and a half, ever since the manager's come in, really. I think from the get-go we started really strongly with him, and obviously we've done really well to get into the Conference League, to finish 7th last year, and this is obviously we're in now with a shout to be in the Champions League. For sure, if you finish in the top 4 and you win and you win a European competition, it's a special season. So that's something as a group we want to do, I think as a club as well. But obviously there's still work to do and you still got to get over the line, yeah.
Do you think you've had the credit you've deserved yet for the season that you've had? Because everybody's been going, talking about Tottenham getting in the top 4 and how many points Man United have got to get up, but you've been there and you've been reasonably comfortable.
No, I actually agree. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I do think that a lot of people outside talk about the top clubs, more than obviously Villa being 4th in the league. I think you're right, but that's not what we can sort of focus on. There's talk outside, and as players and as a club you can't really get distracted into that. But I do agree with what you're saying. The as you say, the top 6 clubs get spoken about more than probably what we do and the credit we deserve, but we're not really. We can go as the underdogs and keep winning. That's the best thing, isn't it? Not getting spoken about and keep performing is probably better.
Yeah, I mean, you've had some special times yourself over the last 18 months or so, obviously going to the World Cup in Qatar and all the rest of it. But European night at Villa Park under the lights, I mean, must certainly be something that would be up there, or would imagine is something to look forward to and something to savour. Yeah,
I think I was saying in an interview earlier that we've had obviously Ajax come, and we've had obviously the group games. Ajax and Lille are two really tough games, and I think the atmosphere was really good. And I think before pre-match we're going into a different entrance at Villa Park, and for the boys we speak about that, and it gives you a proper boost when you turn up and there's flares and there's loads of because you don't really, when we turn up you hear the people, but when you're turning up with flares and both sides are singing and everything, it gives you a massive boost, to be fair, and we've had that the last few weeks and it's been great. But yeah, obviously tomorrow will be another special night.
Is that the sort of Europa Conference League equivalent to the Champions League music, is it?
A bit different, I think. Yeah, no, it's obviously the Champions League's theme's obviously really good, and obviously we're in the Conference League still quite good. Yeah.
Thanks. Matt, does it make it more special for you that you've got to this point in mid-career, that you haven't been someone who from the age of 17 you were straight into a side fighting for titles? You've had to kind of go a more normal route, I suppose. Does that make you cherish it even more and not want to miss a moment of it?
Yeah, no, 100%. Me as a footballer, as a person, my character is to always try and do best, and the fact that obviously we're doing really well and we're in a European competition is sort of a dream, really. And then obviously if you can get into the Champions League is what any boy sort of dreams of. Playing Champions League football in the Premier League would be something that'd be incredible. But as a player, it's weird. It's sort of just not passes you by, but we just come to work every day, do the best we can, and it's sort of you haven't really got time to sit back and look at things. I haven't even sort of sat back and sunk in. I played in a World Cup and in major tournaments. You just sort of go with the flow, and it just sort of flies by. You haven't really got time as a footballer. You're only as good as your last game as well, so you have to focus and be ready for every game.
Sorry. Matt, do you think you guys are ahead of schedule? Obviously, in terms of this competition, you guys want to get to the finals and winning. But in terms of being here and being involved in the Premier League, do you think you've sort of exceeded your own expectations this season?
Not really. I think we deserve to be where we are. I think we obviously deserve to be in the semi-finals. You're not there by luck. You're there because you deserve to be, you know. And I think that the manager's been a key part of it, of being so demanding with us. And as I've said, we haven't really got a massive squad, so we've all sort of had our fair share of games and stuff. And yeah, we've got through it really, really well, and we're in a great position. But I wouldn't say no. We're here because we deserve to be, and we believe that we can do it. So.
Last one from Matt, and then we're all done. Thank you.
I was just saying, you haven't had much time to reflect on that. Obviously, that goal in Lille was a big moment in this season. It will be looked back on in years to come as an even bigger moment if you go on and win the competition.
Yeah. As you said, it was a big game, a big moment. Yeah, it sort of didn't really sink. When I hit it and it went in, I just sort of thought, oh, let's go again, because we had a bit of a spell where we were counter attacking, and it's sort of like. And I got back and I thought, oh, buzzing, I've just scored. So when I look back now, it was obviously a key moment, or we probably wouldn't be sat here. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but it's a desire to go on, and so it means even more, you know, if you, you know, because obviously you could go out in the semi-final. It's not as bigger, perhaps. Not.
Yeah, I think there's been. I know that was a key moment. I think there's been many key moments in the league as well where we've scored late, or someone's done something that's been really key. But as we're speaking about that moment, yeah. Obviously, unless we scored. If I didn't score, we might have scored again. I don't know, but yeah, it probably was a key moment.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Good, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.